Hello, friends. It's your girl, Lovey, and we're back with another episode of Live, Laugh, and Lovey, where it's time to sip, chat, and get the fan waving as we unpack this week's episode of The Shy, episode 5. The ladies are in the house. We have Iva, we have Johnny, and we have Aaron. Hey, ladies. Why are you laughing?
Because when you said Josh, she said,
For the culture. I can't wait to talk about the cultural things that they brought out on the show this week either.
Yeah. Okay, where do we want to start? Who wants to start?
Me.
Okay.
First of all, y'all know I'm the hoodest one of this group, right?
Don't say.
So that's why I love The Shy, but I did not sign up for Paranormal Activity. Okay, I did not know that this episode was going to be a whole horror flick. Like, wait a minute. Hold on. Were we remaking Thriller or something? I mean, I love the whole episode, but I'm just saying. It was really like Scary Movie number 5 or something. Like, well, not scary, because that's a joke. But I'm just saying I was not ready for the horror element. This is the first time that the title pertained to the episode, because it was called Terror Town. This is the first time all season that the title of the episode pertained to the episode. So, all right, that's my 3 cents.
Okay.
Culture.
So all of the kids, speaking of the terror, they went into this abandoned house. They were looking for what? Was they creeping around? I really didn't get the point of the whole house thing. But there were a lot of elements that happened with them in the house that I really appreciated that were highlighted. Papa, Maisha had their, everybody, I mean, poor Kevin. I mean, poor Jake. He's just like the fifth wheel. Okay. He's sitting around the fifth. So he's acting like the bitter friend, right? You can also look at like how all of them are kind of changing. You know how like it says sometimes you grow out your friends, like, they're all trying to, it seems like Kevin and Papa are on one accord and Jake is just somewhere else and he's just being the bitter friend. So, and so when they were in the house and then they had, what's her name? Gemma, Maisha. Those two are two different opposite sides. Okay. But there was something, I like when they brought up the analogy about the being friends and then they brought up the crab, on the bottom of the bucket.
Yes.
I can't remember. We had an episode and I brought that up and it maybe was about Molly. I don't remember, but from Insecure or something. But I was like, oh, I'm not the only one that's very fond of that analogy or whatever. So, but that was a cute little scene with them and all that. But it wasn't like the highlight of what we watched in the episode. But I did like how there was Gemma and then there was Maisha, and they were talking about like walking home and just being from different parts that they all had to consider different routes home. And they, a lot of people that are watching in that may not be from, our communities, then, could hear that going on, which highlighted to say, we're not all the same. We are not all from the hood. Some of us, raised in different households. So I like that.
Okay. I would agree with that. Okay. So let me see. What was my highlight? I would say that I won't say that I like, but I do like the fact that the boys are growing up. The boys are growing up and they're, learning about love, well, puppy love, shall I say. But I really want Jake to stop being a hater. Like, stop being a hater. Just understand that, like Papa said, we might be going in different directions, but it's fine. It doesn't mean that you got to be a bitter Pop sitting in the booth. I mean, he was straight hating. And you still continue to call this little chocolate baby a bitch. Why you keep calling her that? Kevin ain't going to be standing for too many more bitches for his girl. Come on now.
Right.
But I absolutely adored. All they needed was a piece of paper. Will you go with me? Yes, no, maybe so. Papa and Maisha.
Yeah.
I love that.
But that was also good because they sat at the table and did things that some grown people don't do. What do you like? What are your expectations? Wasn't that? I was
Yes.
like, okay, come on, Maisha and Papa.
Yes.
Right.
Even though what they were describing what they needed, I was just like, oh, that's so simple.
Now, first of
So,
all,
go ahead.
how about let's go about that's a good thing to be able to do at that age.
Mhm.
You know,
Absolutely.
start young because people at our age can't do that. So,
Facts.
Mhm.
Yeah. It
So,
was cute. Hmm.
so in that whole scenario, though, I think that Jake is intentionally written to be that outlier so that we can recognize it in our own circles or perhaps even in our own self.
Yeah.
Because we never really see our wrongs. We always see somebody else's. So, having Jake play that character because I'm with you, I'm just like, oh, bruh, lighten up. Don't be that guy, But it gives us an opportunity to reflect on our own life and perhaps our own circle and just recognize that and maybe find a different way about it.
Kandi, go home.
Uh-oh.
Girl, I can't even say Kandi stick to singing. I'm gonna say Kandi stick to songwriting.
Songwriting. Yes.
Oh.
I'm so tired of seeing your ass getting eaten out, whether it's a simulation. I'm so tired of talking about sex when it comes to you. Go home. Go home. Your part is so, Evelyn Lozada, you are a non factor, okay?
That I'm surprised she hasn't got roles for Tyler Perry. So, I'm sorry, Tyler Perry, but we know that you have the non-actors. Kandi, I think she's open to whatever.
There you go. There you go, Bull. Let's go.
Oh, we got two shady fans going on.
Yeah, because y'all are too shady today.
Just saying, it's just like, oh my, everything she does is centered. Well, I won't say everything, but the majority of the things that she does is centered around sex. I'm just like, oh, and then you're supposed to be coming in as this, like working behind the scenes to get him to the point of where he needs to be or where he wants to be as a candidate. But it's just, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. No. Who wrote this role? Y'all pandered to her because she's a celebrity. That's the only reason why she got this role. Okay, and then I got to thinking. She went out for the role as a lesbian. Was she supposed to be Dre?
Oh, I don't know.
Dre?
Like, because we haven't seen any
went
other
out for
lesbians.
the role for lesbians, right?
Ugh, that would have been bad. I was thinking that would have been bad.
But she was on previous seasons, though. Dre was in previous seasons.
Yeah. I would think that she would be something related to what's getting ready to happen with Imani, like something. You know what I mean?
Maybe one of the cast friends.
Yeah, because we see that she has friends now. They introduced friends this episode. So maybe she was gonna. That's what I thought, that she was gonna be one of those.
But see, what happens is when they write these stories, I mean, as they're going along, they're writing these stories and they're redoing them too by, just ideas. So maybe they had an idea for her to, or for there to be a specific type of character, and then they wrote it out or something. Who knows?
Well, they gave her something bigger because I'm pretty sure whatever she was gonna play wouldn't have been this much screen time. I didn't have that much of a problem.
But she doesn't have that much screen time. Well, maybe lines. She doesn't have many lines. They're really minimal. And so that's why I'm surprised, like, at the acting, at the few things you're saying.
Yeah, what was her lines this week? Ooh, nigga. That was her lines this week, right?
Can we just talk about that whole scene since that's what we talk about? First of all, the acting was basic. Something ain't right if you can come up with that whole conversation about, you can think about his political campaign while he on a personal campaign below. Like, I'm gonna need something. No, and then
a personal campaign.
Now, if you replay all the other sex scenes out of the whole season, it's generally over a period of time, and then you see it lapse. Like, okay, they've been going at it for a long time. Duda lasted all of 2 minutes.
Hello.
Break me
and then
acted like he did something.
Well, that's what some people do. Let's just go there. You finish you gotta finish. You gotta go with her and finish, make sure she's cool, so then you can turn around and be in and out. literally, and then go get pizza.
Well,
Right. Then you go offer some pizza. Go ahead, Ja.
I never appreciate screen sex and how it's displayed, because I don't know how many of you have always, when it, someone gets you, they grab you, they throw you up on the wall, and then all of a sudden and then you're gonna grab his shirt and you're gonna throw. How many times y'all ever had that? Come on now. Every sex scene you see on TV, movies, it's always the same. I'll be like, how come I don't get it like that? It's weird. It doesn't happen like that.
He's like, you want me to throw your ass on the wall?
You know how sometimes a sex scene, when you're captivated, when you're a part of the scene, that whole thing, I was just like, when is this over?
Yes.
When is this over? Like, I felt like it was a rape scene. That's just how hardcore it was to me. It was just like,
right. And then,
what did you love me? What did you love me?
You know what? You're right though. You know what it made me think of? That scene in What's Love Got to Do with It when Ike raped Tina against the fish tank.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But
there was nothing sensual. Not saying it was supposed to have been sensual, because every session of sex is not always sensual. Yeah. But there was nothing that drew me in like, oh dang, that was hot. Nah.
Yeah, it was definitely not an I need a cigarette scene.
Right. Talking about you want some pizza? Hell yeah.
Like, that's the best you could do?
Pizza. Pizza.
I mean, and you really excited that he offering you pizza, which is free pizza, so he ain't even spending no money on you.
But then let's talk about Otis, okay? Because there's Otis, and then his alter ego was, what do you call him?
Duda.
I was about to say doo-doo, honestly.
Wrong show.
So I'm still lost in the sauce on really what is his role and what he wants out of Jake. But then I had a scene of him and Jake, and he was almost seeming fatherly with him, right?
He keeps calling him
then
son.
Jake said, can he join him in the back? And then he goes in the back, and then he freaks Jake out because he basically murdered this man in front of him, right? So
well, he beat him up.
Okay, so
I think he's trying to show him his different sides, or show him how business is handled. He's starting to see that.
But he wants Jake for because of course he used Jake, and because I think Kandi even said you need to use Jake a little more, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So was they pull Jake in to make them look good, or like a wholesome family for the
optics? Mm-hmm.
For the optics for this campaign.
But then he also said it's more than that.
Yeah, he said that Jake ain't no pawn or something like that.
I think he's trying to groom him really to take over the street business. I really do.
I hope he doesn't. I really hope. Because
we learned that Jake really ain't about that life, though.
Right, because I was just about to say that, because he literally went from talking junk at the pizzeria with his boys, and then hanging out with Duda, to you ran straight to your brother's arms like a baby. I was like, he's still a kid. At the end of the day, he is a child.
And guess what's gonna happen?
I think in that scene, both of them kind of changed. Well, I'll say change places, only because we thought that Jake would be about that life, and then I was shocked to see that Duda was about that life. But at the flip side, nigga, I still ain't forgave you for getting punked when that nigga got killed in front of you. So you wasn't no G then, but now you got this unarmed constituent of yours who is angry, which you gonna face when you run into politics. So you gonna get his vote by beating his ass? Man, fuck you. You ain't no G the first. He should have been running just like Jake should have been running. So that's all. I
was a little confused. Like, you still standing there. Say what you say and get the hell on up out of there. Because the minute that you saw his jacket come off, that was a clear sign right there.
He took the jacket off. He was prepared.
James St. Patrick from Wish.
From Wish.
Right.
From Wish. You sure right. I'm not going to pull a shady fan out on that one, because that's the truth. James, he is right. Ghost. Wish. I wish I was Ghost. Right. You sure right.
So yeah, I'm with you, Aaron.
But all this is going on, and you got what's his brother's name?
Trig.
Trig and Imani are preparing for the social services. So how was all that happening? I mean, but I guess it would be that he is being a foster parent at this point. And usually they do want them to go back to the family.
To their family, yeah.
Anybody that's close to that. So they do have good chances to doing that. But now Imani has revealed some things in her past that Trig didn't even know about.
But did y'all see how I like their relationship? I love you. We have this. I had a past. I didn't know about that. Why you didn't tell me? He didn't get mad. Like, why you didn't tell me? Just like you messing up my chance. He was totally into her. Why didn't you tell me? Thinking like basically, I'm thinking we're closer than that. But I guess I'm not gonna also go bad on you because you didn't feel confident enough to tell me before, but you're telling me now, and that's all that matters.
Especially after 5 years.
Right, because that's a long time. Because I would have thought like you didn't tell, you don't feel comfortable, but he didn't go bad or anything. He was fine with that. But what I did see, y'all, when Jake came, remember she was rubbing on Jake, and then when Trig hugged him and just grabbed him and like hugged his brother like that,
I got
she
you.
She kind of stood back and was like, okay, so like kind of like, do I have a role here? I think I saw that kind of like, do I have a place? Was he snatching him from me, or was he just holding him? Which I think he was just holding him, but I'm seeing that there might be a little tension. Maybe they're gonna write that in. I don't want that. I don't want them to write that in.
See, I didn't get that. I got that. I got, my takeaway from it was that this is their moment. This is the moment that Trig has been waiting for. It's now here. Let them have that. And then
you didn't see her go like this? You didn't see her go?
Yeah, but I didn't think anything more than it just being just that. Like,
okay.
Hey, he's here for his brother. He doesn't necessarily know me. He's here for his brother.
And that might be best because the way he was flexing up on that social worker, which I thought about and I understood, they probably had to go. Well, he didn't have to go through that though, because he was gone before Peaches. What's her name? Peaches? Ain't her name Peaches? For their mama, mama. Before their mama got into her, issues and stuff. They were I think he was grown, right? He had left. No, he was there for a little bit. He probably had to go through some of that in his past. So maybe that's why he was kind of flexing up on the social worker, but he was doing too much. Like, just let her go through, and get it done, and come on, bye, because she thinks looking like the whole house.
He need to be in good graces with the social worker.
He does. He does. And Imani, when she said that I'm thinking in my head when she was like, oh, I have a business, and I'm like, no, baby, don't say that, because I've been through the system with that. Don't say that. Just say I was doing my homie's hair. You know what I'm saying? Oh, get a business. No, I was just doing my homie's hair real fast, or my friend, blah 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 blah. Because now you setting, it's too much. But hopefully, with Jake coming straight to him, they won't have to go through social worker. He'll just go with him and he'll just transfer the papers. But Duda is gonna threaten Duda's campaign, and that's where we're gonna get more of the Duda and Trig storyline. That's what we're gonna get.
Okay, but can we talk about how she singled out the outlet like Jake is a 3-year-old?
Right. But if he's placed any, I know this heck of funny, but yeah, she got. But first of all, I was like, why is that raggedy ass light switch? Socket looking like that though.
Well, Section 8 will. I mean, you can have something like that, and you won't get approved for your recertification or something.
Yeah, you won't.
Or a broken window outlet like that or anything. So I mean, I guess they're kind of part of the same. Somewhat.
They are. They do the same inspection.
Agency, yeah.
But do you see how that house looked though?
I know everything else is cool, but why did you have that raggedy ass socket like that though?
I'm just like, no, this house looks terrible. And again, here we go with the smoking weed, and somebody show up, and what's the first thing you do?
Can we just talk about that whole scene, like with the friends and everything? Like, that was a whole mood right there. And when she was talking about, can you go to the back? Why we gotta go to the back? This ain't Jim Crow. I was like, okay, look.
I like when she said when the other one on the couch when she was like, y'all just gotta go. She said, let me find out that you were. What she said? Let me find out you're ashamed of us.
Okay.
Let me find out you're ashamed of us. Oh, I fell out.
So was the one sitting on the couch, was that a
Yes.
trans?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why she was on Grindr.
Yes.
Oh, is that what Grindr is?
Yes.
It's not trans, it's gay.
It's
Or
gay.
What was
okay.
the word?
LGBT.
So now we hearing more about trade. Because remember, wasn't that the word that the guy said the first time that he to Trig about trade? And I wasn't sure about that, but we got the definition of what trade is. And it was interesting how they were bringing out, you know, putting those little nuggets out there about how, you know, you can be, basically you can get your ass whooped for fucking around, basically.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or you can be even worse, you know, being a dick somewhere.
Yes. Because what he was trying to tell her was don't be don't get clocked, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get clocked because you know they getting whooped. You gotta come straight, basically. Yeah. Oh, that's a bad term. Well, I was gonna say come straight. You have to yes, you have to give all the truth, yes, so that they, you know, blah, blah, blah. Yes, exactly, because, they are, you know, you kick and tell, like you said. So you don't want to do that. But, yeah, she's a,
Okay.
And, John, did you hear the line when they opened up with that scene? He was standing at the window. Why you standing there looking like Malcolm
X?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, because he sure was.
I said that, though. I said, why are you looking like that Malcolm picture?
As soon as the scene came on, I was like, Malcolm X?
I said, why yes. All he needed was the glasses.
Right. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
I mean, this season has, maybe because I didn't analyze other seasons, but I feel like this season they are bringing a whole, a lot of awareness on just across the board, a whole bunch of things that are going on in society. So
yes, I agree. I think in y'all perspective, having Mini Militant Ja and Mini Militant Bull, you guys are making me see it in a different, you know, light.
A different lens,
right. And then Lovey and I have the entertainment part. So then we switch and show y'all, be like, oh yeah, but that song they was playing though, you know.
Okay. And then once again, that soundtrack was banging the whole episode. Oh my God.
My Shazam was on crazy, job. My Shazam was on crazy.
Yeah, I'm just so appreciative of Lena's work right now, especially during quarantine, because we don't know what we're gonna get in other shows that are that should be recorded now or whatever. We don't know what we're gonna get. I don't want to watch a bunch of people discussing what happened on the show. You know how they have been doing it a little bit, but yes, like this was the perfect time for all this. I mean, it's amazing that the stuff that's arising is stuff that is going on. She talked about. That's just like perfect timing.
Yeah.
What about the barbecue spot? Dominique and
Emmett.
I told y'all Sonny was gonna be upset for being deceived.
I know,
but I was shocked and I felt so bad for Emmett.
Me too.
When he found out. Like, I hope that they can talk it out, because I don't think that Emmett realized how much he meant to Sonny. You know, so I don't think that it's fair, because Sonny never articulated that to him. He has always been there. He's always been supportive, you know, whatever. But that's a boss, and we in the hood, you know. So you kind of have that familiar relationship. But he never said, hey, I look at you like a son. I want to see you do the best and this, that, the third, or whatever. And then he let that down, because Emmett doesn't have that right now. You know, he got Darnell as a daddy, okay?
Right.
No, there ain't no motivation there.
Well, it's time for them to get their truck going or something. I mean, they've made a lot of money.
That's what I think it's going to do. And I think that Dom has to come in, because, you know, Sonny and Dom don't get along. I think Dom is going to have to be the one that's going to be like, look here, old man, I don't like you. You don't like me.
I don't think it's the end of their venture.
Emmett.
It's not the end of the venture. No. I think Sonny is going to come aboard, because, I mean, they're making money after hours. And it
And
could be
he
a
used
joint
that
venture.
smoker. She used that smoker that hadn't been used since Pimpin's been pimping.
I wanted some of that barbecue. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, listen, I was just tasting the hickory smoke up in that skin on that chicken. Woo!
I mean, they're showing like Dominique and Emmett has this chemistry of flirting thing on, but it's still strictly business, y'all.
Okay, but y'all see how he was checking out the booty.
Yes.
Thank you. That's all I want to say. Because I thought about you, John, when you was like, I didn't get that they are having it. No,
I think he's just flirty
no.
and he's just being a man. But right now, it seems like he really focused on business. I mean,
no, he is focused on business. She is focused. Dom is.
Well,
She's
I mean,
focused on it.
Well, we saw last week that it looks like Tiffany might fall in the arms of somebody else, and I think when that happens, that's when the Dominique and Emmett thing gonna happen.
Okay.
Little Corey Hardrick.
Yes. Ooh. Okay. So since you guys weren't here last week, and we had just talked about Corey Hardrick.
I told you, I was like, he's gonna be on the show, but I couldn't remember which one because I said I saw him on a commercial. Remember I was saying that? That's what it was.
Is he one of the twins' husband?
Yes.
Right. Okay, I thought.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So because he's such a nice guy, it was hard for me to take him seriously in this role.
What?
Yeah.
That's him. You don't hear about Tia. How Tia? That's who he's married to, right? Tia.
Yeah.
How she talk about my sister and I, it was Tamara. We're different. Like, I'm the calm, and my husband reflects or whatever. And Tia was like, yeah, but I need the roughneck. And
I mean, I know that, but I'm saying from what we see when no.
No, because
before I've never seen his characters go. I don't know how he is in real. Is really personally, but his characters has always been some geeky, sitcom we see.
No, what I was about to say, what I've seen from him, he be rough. He's been like, did y'all watch the show? I watched it on Crackle. I can't remember the name of it. Sorry, Crackle.
Okay, first off, where do you find Crackle?
Oh, it's an app. It's an app on the. Sorry. Well, anyway, so it's a show, and he's a police officer, and his brother is also a police officer. So he's like on a like a team. Actually, 50 Cent is a producer, is a writer and producer on this. So he's like a crooked, corrupt cop. So with the cussing and the this and that's what I'm used to. And then I'm used to him in like when he has those little bit parts. He comes in as the black dude. He turn around and be like, what? Anyway, and and peace out. He'll say like 4 or 5 lines. But those lines are, he's the hip what's happening one too. So I'm used to him in these kind of, roles. So when he did that, it was completely believable to me. I was turned on. I like him.
Oh, you were turned on?
I was. Honey. I needed more than this fan. What you say in a personal location, Aaron?
A personal campaign.
Tiffany didn't show up this week. But
no, we didn't need her.
I was lost on Jada feeling pressure from this family because I would have been so unbothered. That's just me personally.
But that's you. You gotta remember, she stays in her head.
Ayanla. She said Ayanla, but that wasn't Ayanla voice.
It sure wasn't. But the caption said Ayanla too. Yeah.
But you have to remember how awkward Jada is. First of all,
there you go, Bull.
But she wasn't like that in the beginning when she was like, Emmett, get out my house and all that. It was a different Jada to me.
That's Mama Jada.
Yeah, but we talking about dating Jada. Jada has been awkward even when she was dealing with Ronnie.
Yeah.
Even when she was dealing with Ronnie, she was awkward. And then it is kind of devastating, or not devastating, but at least difficult to process that his family is the one that tells you about his wife. Yeah, and then I laughed when she was like, "Oh, thank God," when they said that she was dead.
Yeah, me too.
But I was like, yeah, because I said the same thing, like, "Oh, thank God." And then they acted like they didn't understand when she was happy to discover he was not living a double life. I thought she did a good job on articulating that. Like, "Oh, I'm sorry for your loss. But, I'm just happy to find out he's not living a double life," which I guess, is that a cultural difference? Like, I mean, Hispanics don't cheat or something?
No, I don't think that they were talking about that part. They already come in with preconceived, because you see how when they came, I was wondering who was that? Was that a brother? Is that a young? Is Mama a cougar? Because how he walked up and was like, "Oh, you're going this way, hello," and he put his arm around the mom, and sat down. I'm like, "Is this the brother?" How they were talking, they were already coming off disrespectful, so they weren't thinking about her anyway.
Yeah, I was
So
a little
anything she
confused.
said.
I was a
Oh,
little
go ahead.
confused at the guy sitting next to the mom too.
Yes.
But she need to pick up on those social cues and really listen to what the mother said, because I picked up on it immediately.
Me too.
Because she was like, yeah, because the wife, she was.
Mm-hmm.
So either they're no longer together, and she's just no longer around, or she's no longer with us in the physical.
Right.
But she's so caught up in her head that she didn't catch on to that.
Well, no, she heard. Well, yeah, you're right, because I did hear there was, and I picked up on it too, that either she was gone or her gone. But
it sounds like there's gonna be a second date, and they're gonna he's gonna continue to pursue her. He's seeing that he put her at ease at the end of the day.
But this is a trip though, because what you talking about? You didn't want to shit where you eat, and now you didn't went on dinner, and a date, and now you whole ass with him. So how's that gonna work?
I was like, how much time has passed? Because y'all literally went from sitting across from each other, trying to debate whether or not y'all was gonna go on a date, but then now you meeting the family,
right?
But you gotta remember, so this is at least date number 2.
Yeah.
Date number 2. Because remember,
I don't want to go to your family barbecue at date number 2 though. I don't.
I mean, it's at least, but we don't know how much time has passed. But we also know that they work together, so that gives them a little opportunity to get more understanding of each other on a daily basis than traditionally. So it's not like, we just had one date, talked a couple times throughout the week, and then had another date. They're actually, I'm assuming,
they're dating. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like them though. Despite Jada being uptight, she just need to relax and just woo-saw.
He about to relax her.
She needs some more happy endings.
He gonna relax her. That's coming, literally.
I can't. I'm not fooling with you today, Iva. But you're right though. She need that back crack on a regular. So that's gonna force Emmett and Tiffany out the house quickly.
Or they gonna go to what's the name house? They'll go to his house. But this is my thing too.
What's the name's house?
Tomas, to his house.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. So this is my thing too. I'm thinking now, that was part of his responsibility. He did not think that through, because if I have not told you about my wife, but I know my family, don't you think my family is going to tell her? Don't you know your family? You know that how they're caught up and wrapped in Saint Elena. She's basically a saint, right? Elena. So, you leave me alone that fast, or you don't tell me first about that before. Well, I wanted to wait.
That's kind of odd that you would meet somebody and you don't know that their wife and their ex, that the ex-wife passed away. But I think it was
like
more
you
so
said,
because
they wanted to get together.
But wasn't it more so that he met the wife on the job?
They used to work together.
I think that's what really started messing with her mind. So
why would that mess with her mind?
I think she's fine about that part. I would have been messed up about why you didn't tell me, just like she said. But he said, I didn't want to tell you because we were just getting to know each other. And my thought was, okay, well, if we just getting to know each other, why am I meeting your parents? This is the first thing that you know that they're gonna tell me. I mean, I wouldn't have had it like an argument. I would have brought it up to them like, they're gonna tell me. I wouldn't
expect my family to talk about my past at all. Okay, that's for me to do.
If that's your family, you know that they're like that. That doesn't mean that every family member is like that or every family.
Exactly.
But you know when your family messy.
Right. Bull, he knew about
especially
his family.
Because he was hesitant, like when she was like, why don't you go get us some beer?
Right.
Like, we're wrong. Like, yeah, okay. Oh,
right. Lord. And here come the little husband brother. Because
she said husband brother.
Yeah, because that was weird to me. That was I was like, what?
I mean, culturally,
That's how they are.
Yeah, culturally, the Hispanic culture is if they have an alliance with someone, then they're gonna talk that person up, whether they're here or not. So, like Johnny was saying, if the family, is going, if they love that person, then they're gonna always talk about that person. But if you know your family and you know how shady your mama is, and is this your first time dating since the passing?
I'm thinking so.
It sounded.
I think so.
It hadn't been, because he said it's been a couple, but not that many. Because she asked him, because he made a statement like at the end of the night. He made a statement that she's like that with all of them. Right. Nobody ever measures up.
Right.
Or whatever.
Right.
And she was like, well, how many again?
Yeah,
okay,
right.
So then that would make me think like, okay, so how many of these chicks are you bringing home? Okay. Why, we've only been meeting, because if I meet,
girl,
I can't say that because I ain't gonna lie. I met his family on the first time we hung out.
Okay.
And
well, go there.
I was like, why? And he was like, cause I really like you and I want you to meet my family. And I'm just like, okay. And of course they fell in love with me. No,
right. And then on the second hand here, I moved here to be with someone and you don't meet nobody for a year. Oh, no. And you met the dad. You still didn't meet the mom.
Mm-hmm.
You met the dad. So,
yeah.
So we're raised, that's how we are. You're not even my family until.
Right.
Right. But I think that's a guy thing. Like, guys will bring women around their family sooner than women will bring guys around.
Yeah.
Because they don't think of it the same way as we do. Because if I'm going to meet your family now, then they need to start knowing my name and start realizing, so she said, so it's not Keisha.
I don't think about it like that. Like, Joaquin, he brought me around his family and he invited my mom to go to like Thanksgiving with his family, which she did one time. But anyways, and but he was begging to meet my mother, and I was like, why? For what?
That's what I'm saying.
That's a guy thing. But he knew. See, it's different. When dudes know, like your Mr. Lovey and like Joaquin, when they know, that is one thing about dudes. I will say, when they know, then they know. You meeting parents. When I came out here to visit, the first visit, I'm thinking we about to go to the room, we about to go chill, we about to hang out. It's just me or whatever. No, we went straight from the airport. Oh, I gotta pick up something real quick. Come in. What you mean? Mama. I'm like, hi. I'm in a tank top. I am not in mama clothes, meeting clothes at all. I'm in a tank top. I'm in some shorts. I know she literally told me, she's looking at me like, hello. I was like,
right. So that is true. When a guy knows, they know, and they are unapologetic about the decisions that they make with bringing their interests around their family.
Yes.
And women, we are the opposite.
Exact opposite. I gotta know about you first, and I gotta see, because my family gonna pick up on it. They're gonna be like, hey girl, he's so cute. Why he be sniffing every 2 minutes? Why does he talk with his head? What is this? You know what I'm saying? Things that we be like, well, maybe he is a little challenged. I don't know. Yeah.
So
So my favorite character on this show is Ronnie. Although Ronnie gets the bad rap, but Ronnie got saved this week, and I'm so proud of Ronnie.
Yeah, I was dying laughing when he was like,
I've been rocking with Ronnie since the beginning. I just been waiting for him to get clean. And while we talking about that, number one, can we talk about the pastor? Talk about after he got the suit after the baptism and stuff. Talk about you looking a little dusty.
Yeah.
Papa's dad, yeah.
Papa. No, but Ronnie had me dying laughing when he was like, do I look different? I'm like, Lord, it's not a matter of the outside. Do you feel different?
Right. You are not.
Grandmother recognized him.
No more.
Grandma recognized him though.
She did. She didn't know where the hell she was at. but she knew who he was.
No, she knew where she was at. She was going home. She just remembered that wasn't her home.
I know, but that made me sad.
I know.
But you see, she bolted. She probably woke up, that light went off, and she was like, "Oh, I don't know where the hell I'm at, and you making me miss my judges." He's trying to have his way with me. He's accosting me.
I was like, "Oh my God!" She Ethel was having a Karen moment.
She was. But you see how his one thing I thought about too is I was unsure of how his community, and I'm saying his homeless community, how his community was
looked out for her.
Right, I was wondering how they were rocking with him still, because the last we had seen, they were mad at him for helping the chick, and we haven't really seen him back at his house, right? So I didn't know how they were rocking, but with the dude sitting there, knowing who she was, sitting there calling him, because we know he called him, right? Calling him to let him come, and then switching guards, and then the dude go off. "Thank you, Joe. No problem, Ronnie. You got it." I said, okay, he's still cool with his people.
Yeah.
So that made me feel good too with his belonging. I was like, all right, bet he's yeah. And she sat right. Oh, y'all, the granny, man.
Oh, Granny.
I got a little.
I love how spunky she is. She still got that in her. Her little spunk.
I was happy to see a loving side of her for a change, because they always show her in the moment, in what we know her to be as grandma. But I was glad to see her show Ronnie a little love.
But at first it was like, because your mama was a hoe and your daddy wasn't this and that. But I
your
always
daddy
knew
wasn't shit.
I just thought that was just her matter of fact tone. I don't think she was throwing any shade with it, but it was just the fact that she realized that she had to step in and take care of Ronnie.
Yeah, she threw a negative out there, but then she followed it up with a positive.
What she's always saying to me too, y'all, she's always said Ronnie is her baby. She said that, and y'all right. That's what she brought, because she talking about, your mama's a hoe. That's her daughter.
Right.
Your mama's a hoe, and your daddy wasn't shit, but you was my baby. And I baptized you, and I knew God would, and he was like, "Well, do you know who I am?" "Yes, my grandson coming fresh off of coming back from the war." That's what she remembers, and that's her greatest moment or thoughts of him, right? When he was coming back, because I'm sure she was the grandma. Because remember when he came back and he was sick, and bet she on the phone, "Girl, Ronnie. Anyway, that boy, what you need the phone? Oh, girl, he's from the royal, my grandson, he came back. She's the bragging. So, she was bragging probably the whole time that he was gone. So that's when her mind goes back to the familiar. So now, when she didn't recognize him when he was dusty the other time, right? When he came in, she's seeing him, like y'all said, she's recognizing him. So he's getting that glow back about him. And it's having him to be able to glow in the dark and hear Keisha's voice. How you know that was her muffled?
Okay, so let's
go
ahead.
Can we talk about how she don't want to get free? Because why the hell she fall out the hillside?
Like
Karen, lay down there.
Why did she pull a Carrie? Why did she pull a Karen?
In the tracksuit. I was like, girl, run. Like I don't care how predictable it would have been if she would have ran and then accidentally ran into Ronnie. I would have even accepted that. Like, okay, boom, they collide. He look and see that it's her, and then she run off because she's taking off for her life, and he follow behind her. He follows her long enough to be able to figure out where she is so that he could get her home. But
you did all of that.
But they have so many clues because they're showing this. Did you notice there was a bunch of tracksuits?
That's right. So, and they keep saying his name is Omari, but was it just me, y'all, or was the TV dark? I couldn't see his face. I tried to see his face.
No, they didn't show his face.
They didn't show his face.
But they keep calling him an Omari. So he's somebody that knows her. I mean, the name on my girl, I watched with the caption. Sorry. So the caption, they keep saying his name is Omari. So I'm thinking, are we supposed to know him? Because they keep putting his name, when it's saying, he's talking to her, and doing that feeding and that bathing shit. Do it for daddy. Do it for dad. I'm like, why is it saying Omari? Why are we supposed to know him? And then I'm starting to think in my head, that wasn't the name of the dude, right? Because the old coach dude.
The
Because
old
remember,
coach.
yes, because remember
Yeah.
he didn't go back. Somebody was like, "Well, she's still messing with that dude." Nah, we ain't
Well,
seen him back. We ain't seen him since he got beat up. He ain't been back.
but this person is some type of whack, mental case, because he said, when I got you, I cleaned you up. You was dressed a certain way, which I agree with him.
Yeah,
She
I agree with
was.
on that.
She was. She was dressed like a. But he got her in all tracksuits. Y'all see all of them.
There's
Her
a
school.
bunch there.
Right. So where would
But
you
he
get
knew. But
access
remember,
to
she
all those
ran
school
track.
clothes?
He
Right. And
been
she
watching
dated.
her.
And exactly. So I'm like, but how would you have access to have all those tracksuits, especially in my size, unless you was that old track coach? You fixing her up. You doing whatever. Because she wasn't going to see him no more. Remember when she was dressed like a hoochie mama? She was going to see Nook if you buck, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's just funny to me. Oh, another thing I just want to say too. Sorry. Since Ronnie was walking around the neighborhood and the neighborhood was all dark, that also lets you know for him to be walking around, shit, probably like 2 blocks from home.
He lives in the area. The man, he lives in the area. So he had all these bots watching her, and then you making all this noise, okay? You could tell he was coming, and it was messed up that she didn't know she should have knocked down the other door at first. But her little butt got the door knocked down. I just understand why you went there and you fell down.
Girl, you did all of that.
In.
You did all of that to fall like a scary. That's why this was a scary movie. It is, because she fell just like the little people in the scary. Girl.
Yeah. And then Ronnie was like, Keisha?
Right. I was like, you do not know her muffle, sir.
But even the grandmother was like, did you find Keisha yet?
Right. Did you find the girl?
And then, so we'll see where the cliffhanger ends. I guess it's gonna pick up next time.
Right. Predictions. Dang, y'all gotta think about that.
Otis and Trig are gonna have some problems, and the 63rd mob may be coming for him if he's going to be trying to get Jake, because he already barged in on them. He's already what is the word, feeling like they might be coming for him, right? He's already got that. But yeah, we're gonna see I feel like we're gonna see something, because that's who he's using for his campaign. So he's his commodity. He's gonna want that back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm wondering how that's gonna play out, because Jake has obviously chosen Trig. So now what's gonna happen between Jake and Duda when he realizes, I ain't really about that life, I want to go with my brother. So is he gonna let him go? Probably not. So
he
I'm
paid
with
for
you.
him. He paid that $5,000 for him.
But he has no legal claim on him.
I know. I'm just playing. No, he got those papers doctored, because remember he got him in school.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Mhm. He paid $5,000 because he took her down to the Peaches, whatever, and he took her down to the thing and signed her over.
He does not have him legally. He
just has guardianship right now. He's his legal guardian. Right. So yeah, that's what it's gonna be. Yeah.
And then also, I think that there'll be a way that Sonny and Emmett will be able to make amends. But all he said, he already knew what he was doing. He just wanted him to tell the truth. So I think they'll make amends, and maybe they'll be able to do some type of joint business venture, because it only could be better for Sonny.
Yeah.
Yes, and he needs to realize that Sonny is resistant to change, and he does not want to change. And Emmett can bring that place into the future. He really can. And Sonny needs to listen to his own mind, because he knows that Emmett is the future. Because when he offered him that position, he offered him like, I know you can do this and blah, 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 blah. And first thing he said is, ooh, can we implement some of these? And he was like, well, just hold on. He was fine with that until the girl started talking about the chicken. When he started talking about his food, then he got, offended, but he doesn't want to move. But he just needs to trust that he made the right decision with giving Emmett and he did. He's trying to fall back to the old Emmett because Emmett is irresponsible. Emmett is, you know, this and that, but he's coming to his own. So I'm ready for them to have that fatherly son talk to where he'd be like, you know, I'm sorry I did it like this, but look what money we got. I could pay you back for your chicken, bruh. We got that money. And she used this old ass smoker that y'all never use, sir. And you know, yeah, I'm ready for that. I think that's gonna be good. You're right. Yeah. All right.
I wish they would find some little love interest for Jake. But
I hope so.
No.
That
no, he doesn't need it because his life is already complicated as it is.
His love interest needs to be himself, and he needs to be.
But I feel sorry because he's a child of his circumstances.
He is, but he's also a little boy because he calling all of them hoes. And you see when Maisha came up and Papa was like,
his brother was raising him. How else would he be treating a woman?
You're right, because that's all he knew.
I mean, his brother stole a pie and then threw it in the garbage before he was murdered. Okay, you know, so he knew he did.
Right.
Which is what surprised me about his reaction when he saw Otis murder that man so violently. I was surprised at his reaction, honestly.
He didn't know who he was. He like that. And he hadn't seen that. He saw glimpses of it when he wore his track shoes on the floor, his gym shoes on his floor, but he hadn't seen that towards him. So now for you to, you know, can I come? Yeah, okay. And you see him actually do that, I think it kind of freaked him out, like, oh.
But I thought he knew, like his brother that was that was murdered. I thought he knew his brother was doing those type of things.
But that's he's used to that from his brother because he's seen that, but he hadn't seen Duda do that. He only seen Mr. Perry and the sternness, you know, about the track shoes on the floor and that part. But the switching and just the code switching that he did, he hadn't seen. I think that's, and he was probably like y'all said, I'm not about that life. I need to go over here and let me go run to my brother. He didn't run to Kevin. He didn't run to none of them. He ran to his brother's house.
Well, another thing that came to my mind was, okay, they out here, you know, going through this abandoned house, and then they partying up at the little barbecue little thing.
Yes.
Nina, I wish you would know where your kids is at.
Right.
Nina, that's why you got one missing right now. Okay, Nina? Sorry, Nina, but I mean, come on now, Nina.
She was at work, right? You didn't call, or Dre didn't call the phone number to see where Kevin at.
The street lights were out, Nina. Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
because
that's normal reaction. Like when a parent knows that there's a blackout in the city, let me call and check on my child. Just like Ronnie thought about his grandmother. You ain't think about your child.
Yeah, because when we had the earthquake of '89, oh no, we couldn't go nowhere.
Nope.
Oh no, I don't care if we ain't got no lights. I don't care if you can't talk on the phone. No, you're not going nowhere. You send your ass right here.
Yeah, with me. My mama, yes.
Right.
I was at the house. Yes, I was at the house. I was outside. And I lived where I lived, 84. My driveway was a steep, you know, slope going up. So I was outside and I was at the gate. And when it started happening, my ass was hanging off the gate. I'm like, ah! I was little then, y'all. And I was flailing. And then my mama gonna hurt me, but my mom was in the restroom. So I hear her yelling out the house because she opened the door because she said she leaned over and was in the door frame. Because, you know, they tell you get in the door frame. Or those of y'all who don't have earthquakes, California, ooh, Jesus. So get in the door frame. So she said she leaning this way, whatever, and she's calling us, trying to do roll call. Where are you? Jazz, where are you? And I hear my sister yelling, I'm fine. I'm under the table in the dining room. Iva, where are you? I'm like, I'm outside, hanging on the fence. My mom was like, well, hang on. That shit was hilarious. Oh, it's hilarious. Well, hang on. I mean, because, that was,
I will never
go nowhere.
I was 16. It was a very hot day.
Yeah.
It was hecka hot.
It was hecka hot.
I will never forget that day. I remember really remember walking home and how hot it was that day. And I live in the hill too, Daly City in the hill. And so our house, our house was not built. The ground was not leveled. Mm-hmm. So when the earthquake happened, it was like poltergeist. The drawers open, all the cabinets open. Caught the TV because that was always her baby. The TV literally caught the TV from falling off the dresser. It got a little crack on the side of it, but still, it was still doable. But,
everything shifted. Everything shifted. The driveway had a crack in it from then on, and it was weird because if I tell y'all, I felt something. I felt it, and it was like the wind blew, and I got goosebumps, and all the hair stuck up on my leg, and on my arm, and I'm looking, and you see the street go just like this. The street was rippling, and I was like, and then it just started going.
Yeah, because it was
fast. My mama was a Nina. Okay, I was raised by. Like she was out to lunch, and so me and Jonay were always responsible kids. So we were in the house. And we just stayed in the house.
Well, shoot, I ain't gonna lie,
because there wasn't nothing else to do. My grandmother a couple books.
What was it? Was it a 7 or an 8?
It was a 7.
So it was 7. It was strong no matter what.
Because my dad, I was so glad because my dad was supposed to be, that's when he traveled. He was working at that time in San Leandro. So he always takes Cypress, coming from Vallejo, taking the Cypress. No, I'm sorry. He lived in Richmond at that time. So he's coming from Richmond, taking the Cypress to go to work in San Leandro. And he overslept that day.
The Cypress was a freeway.
Oh, it was the freeway. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 2-level,
2-tier. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, level freeway where the top half collapsed onto the bottom.
Onto the bottom, yes. In rush hour traffic. Because it was like 5 or something.
5 o'clock when that happened.
It was 5 o'clock. Yeah, it was 5 something in the afternoon, bull. So you had people going and coming out of the major cities, Oakland, San Francisco.
Yeah, because that was a major highway that kind of led you to go
that's
to San
why my
Francisco.
mother never came back, because she said
she couldn't get through.
She couldn't get through, but that wasn't one.
My dad was supposed to go to work, and he is always on that thing. So the first thing when I thought, I was like, we didn't really have cell phones. I'm trying to tell my mom. I'm like, Mom, we got to try to get in touch with Dad. She was like, baby, I don't know how, because phones were off.
No cell phone that time.
Right, no cell phone. If you did have a cell phone, you had the block.
Okay.
Right.
Or it was the car phone.
Right. So we, I was worried, because me and my sister knew that Daddy be on the thing, so when they started showing and stuff that we saw later, about talking about the things and everything had fallen and people trapped up under there.
The Bay Bridge, that
I know, but did you know anybody that was partying during that time? Because these people was partying and buying barbecue.
Okay, so
because
it was little fast. Come on.
Oh, you tried it. Because it was the Battle of the Bay at that time. It was Oakland A's versus the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah.
So that was big as well, and that shit, it was crazy. So
okay.
Yeah.
So.
Oh Lord, she about to tell us she was partying, Jesus.
I was. Okay, so when it happened, because it was right after school, so me and my friends, our routine was that everybody would come to my house to kick it. So we were sitting on the front porch, and my house sits directly in the center of the block, and then there's a street that you could turn down straight ahead. And we had a neighbor that had an old Sanford & Son type of truck, right? So when you heard them describe the level that, the strength of the earthquake, that truck was on 2 wheels. So we saw the truck on the 2 wheels, but then I started rolling. And they were like,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So they were like,
I'm sorry.
Yes. So my friends, they were like, Lovey, put your brakes on. I was like, my brakes are on. Oh, and then that's when it clicked. We was like, earthquake. And so my grandmother came to the door. She was just like, y'all go home. Lovey, you come in the house. So I was like, okay. So I went in the house and I was just chilling and whatnot. And then my friend who lived around the corner came to the house and she was like, come with me to my friend's house. So I was like, okay. I can't talk on the phone. I can't hang out. Okay, bet. So
you
I was
can't
like,
hang out because of my friend house. What's that? Right.
so I was like, let me change my clothes. Change my clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And I told my grandmother, I was like, I'll be back. I'm going with my friend. She, she knew her because, she knew her. So she was like, okay. So I lived on 79th. I would look at you like. So I lived on 79th. We went all the way up to 94th.
Oh, girl, no.
So
you passed me.
Yes. So
because I lived on 84.
Yeah. So we are chilling in front of a liquor store, right?
Oh, I know where you at.
And so we all chilling, whatnot. And so by the time we went home, because it's maybe like a couple of hours later, by the time we got home, it was well after dark at that point. So the next day, my grandmother was just like, "The f you doing up there by the liquor store?" And da 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 da. And I'm just like, well, how'd she find out? So then it clicked in my head, like, who told on me? Okay. So this is the reaction that Nina should have taken. Because my grandmother got in my, anything could have happened. An aftershock could have took place, and you sitting in front of a store, in front of a glass storefront. What if that glass would have came down and then something would have happened, and then where would that have left me? So I was just like, okay, well, you might be right. You might be right. So
yeah, you told her, sorry, Grandma. I probably would have just rolled back on down the hill again too.
So yes, I was the one who went out and was hanging out. It was no phone. I couldn't talk on the phone, and then I couldn't hang out with my friends on the block. So yeah, you want to go hang out? Come on, let's go kick it.
My mama said, let's start. She said, okay, girls, we're gonna do camping. We pulled the candles out because it was gonna get dark, and then we turned on the radio because my mama always keeps a radio.
Yeah, they always kept a radio.
Yes, so she kept a radio that had batteries. And we were listening to get updates and stuff, and we started playing spades. My mom was good at teaching us. That's why I know how to play cards like that now. So we started playing like spades and dominoes and stuff like that until later. Yes, ma'am.
So speaking of battery operated, this fool had a battery operated record player.
You sure right. I said the same thing. I said, how you playing records?
I said the same thing. Unless it was the original telegraph or whatever you wanted to call the thing before. I don't know what you call it.
The phonograph.
No, well, whatever the thing.
With the one you had to crank or whatever.
The phonograph.
There wasn't no crank on that. That was electric.
You can't pass this on to people who actually played records, okay?
Right. Right. You so right. Because I thought when Jake's face was looking crazy, like, I thought he was looking like, how you playing?
I'm about to go back and watch it.
You didn't peep that?
I just saw, I wasn't even really tripping.
That they were in a blackout.
Or whatever, this famous jazz artist.
Yeah, I remember that scene, but it didn't really click that,
they were in a blackout.
We're in the midst of a blackout.
Yes.
How are you playing this record player?
Yes. I said the same. I was like, the hell?
You have a backup generator, I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
no,
maybe.
No, because when they panned the room, because they were in the dark. Now, mind you, the Chi is naturally dark, but they were in the for real dark because of the blackout. He had the little lamps or the battery operated lights around, whatever. So that thing was battery operated.
Sarcastic, but yeah, we know. For those of you, because you know what, we went to Vegas. There was a hip hop museum here. And then they were showing like turntables, and my kids didn't realize that, you had to scratch to make the noise. They didn't understand nothing about the record player at all. I was like, oh my God, I failed or whatever. But
actually, John, I'm going to have to agree with you.
That are past, what do we call Generation X, that know nothing about a record player. So that has went over above all those people's head who watched that.
It did. Yeah. Because I was rolling. I was like, he got an old school record player. He liked the vinyl. And I said, How he playing? I mean, it just in the. I was like,
I said the same thing to Joaquin. I said, "Oh, he just playing a record player in the dark. I mean, with no power. Okay, all right,
okay, Lena. I'm gonna need you to do better.
Right.
Yeah, don't try us like that. Do not try us like that. I feel tried right there.
Right, that was a try. Right. She tried it. Right. You know, they do things, and I'm one of those people. I love it. They do certain little things in shows. If it's off or it's wrong, they leave it in there for people to catch certain things.
Yeah, when the continuity is off. Yeah.
Right. So that maybe that was one of their little things they want to see if we would catch. And
is this the Game of Thrones Starbucks cup?
The Starbucks cup. Why is that the first thing that popped in my head?
This is their scandal.
This is their Starbucks cup. Yes. Yes.
And on that note, we have unpacked the episode for the week. Next week, I really hope that we see a little bit more of Daddy, so we can find out what's going on with him, and will Ronnie be just that much closer to rescuing Keisha?
Man, if Keisha's gone for 2 more episodes or to the end of this, I'm about to write Lena a letter. Like,
well, we're already. This is episode 5, so we're halfway. Yeah. There's only 10 episodes to the season, so something has to come around. So
good, but they better not find her in 10 and rush it, and they better not find her at the end of 9, because that's 10. Because she needs a whole episode for her healing back with her family.
Right?
You know, they need a whole episode, because if y'all notice, y'all see Kevin's transition. Kevin is very assertive. He's coming into, you know, he's dancing, you know, I like that, you know, and he's being nice with the young lady, you know, but Kevin ain't no punk.
Nah.
Do y'all see how he protected her when they, you know, she was like, "You're not scared?" He was like, "Nah, come on, I got you."
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna need for her to wear teenage clothes.
And on that note,
she had like a blue little
blazer and a polo.
Yeah. She looked like she was going to school. So I will like that. She looked like she had on her uniform.
She did. And I thought she did, but I realized she's like Whitley.
Okay. I get it.
They had talked about offline, like about the afro.
I need her to put like a bow or something.
I love my people. I'm not really into afros for teenagers. I don't know. I don't really care for afro, but then I understand that just being, you know, frequented Chicago a lot, that they are more into natural hairstyles there. So that's where she comes with it.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think that she could do. They need to, the baby. She's a baby to me. The baby, she could do a little something with the fro. I mean, put a little bow, pull it up.
I mean, yeah, because even in the 70s, people wore hair accents with their afros and stuff. So, but I need for her to dress like she's a teenager.
But she is asserting her blackness, though, in that, and I thought, you know, I do appreciate that, because she is unapologetically black.
Oh, the Black 365.
Oh, man, how she talks, you know, but she's also about her business. And, you know, and then you got
Kevin. She ain't as black as she thought.
But no, she's not. She's not.
She got a different kind of culture lesson.
And Maisha quickly reminded her of that.
She sure did.
I like that she said,
"This ain't no people."
But she said, "I'm not afraid of my people," and I'm like that. I will walk through any damn hood there is, because I'm not afraid of my people. So I understood what she meant with that. But for the boys,
power to the people. I
would not let my boys
rolling
walk through any neighborhood.
Rolling.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye. Because all I think now is I see Lovey rolling down the street during the 7.8, y'all.
Sipping Indo, drinking on juice.
Oh, see, I was in a different one. I was Tupac. Picture me rolling. Okay, bye.
Wrap this up, Lovey. Wrap this up. Get us off of here.
Okay. The extended version of the unpacking and dishing.
Right. Oh my gosh, that is too funny. All right. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. We appreciate you giving us your ear, and we hope we can spread some insight and laughter your way. If you've missed any of our previous episodes, head on over to Pop Break TV and popbreak.com to catch up. But also catch us on YouTube. Look at all our previous episodes. Look at our facial expressions, laugh with us, and all that other good stuff. Subscribe, share, like, and join the discussion. We want to hear from you. We want to laugh with you too. Come on, join on in, all right? All right. All right, thanks, ladies. Till next week.
Bye.